Hey, what up dudes, Insane Isaiah 64 here. Welcome back to Honkai Star Rail in 2025, pretty much. Last time we played this game, we were just doing actually we were on campus last time we were playing this game. And now we're actually going forward with new story stuff. I thought it was going to be Trailblazer Continuance, but it's actually an actual continuation of the Trailblazer missions. It's been a while since you woken from the dream. Starting to a deep sky, you think back on everything you gained on your adventure so far. Began to grow excited for your next Trailblazer expedition. Outside your window, a mysterious air destination piques you. Hold on, you're still on Penacony. Looks like it's time to discuss your upcoming trip and the rest of the crew. We're going to AFTRA. I believe that's what the next area is called. But we're going back to Penacony because there's stuff here for us to do. And there's a whole new sidecar too. Yeah, where the hell Pom Pom been keeping that from us? I have no idea. There's a whole another mini map to it too. We're about to go in there and explore it. Something before we actually begin the story, actually. One thing I want to mention. There's gonna be some missing voices in this part of the story. And the reason for that is because voice actors are on strike right now with Sega. I believe that's what the voice actor company they're working with is called. But I have an awesome video here from a voice actor actually explaining the 2024 Sega AFTRA video game strike, and I'll link it in the description. I also put a title card right about now for you to check it out. It's a great informative video. It's only like 11 minutes long. I highly encourage you to go watch it. Very, very informative. But the missing voice lines for the characters I think we'll be having is Young Hung, Himiko, and Robin. I think those are our missing voices. Now, the reason for the strike is because voice actors, well, companies are using AI without their knowledge to train voice acting, which they don't want, you know. Imagine being a voice actor and then not knowing your voice is being used to train AI. That's not cool. So, while they're trying to get while they're trying to get these companies to sign that, they're not, for some reason. I don't know why. That's just what the strike's going on. In my opinion, I don't really like AI. I don't really like how it's removing the humanity in everything we do. So I've seen it on YouTube, but there's like AI thumbnails and people are making like a bunch of other AI stuff. I don't like it. That's just it. That's my opinion on it. I just want to let you know that going forward. So I'm going to be doing some voice reading, basically. Just reading some lines here and there. Well, let's get started. That's all I'm informing you of. Just note that going forward. I know, it sucks when we don't have people voicing. But hey, they gotta do what they gotta do. Are Venchi's here? Hey dude, and funny that you're the first one here.
Would you care for some jokes? A bit of laughter might be good for your health.
You're Drinksmith? I've never been in this cart, by the way.
Amphorius, the Eternal Land.
Yeah, there it is. There's no record of this world in the databank, not even a mention of its name.
Yeah, that's what Miss Black Swan said. It's a world hidden away from outside observation, with a presence only revealed by the light from the mirror of the Garden of Recollection. It's mysterious, all right. You haven't been with us on the Express very long. Will the journey be too much for you to handle?
Nah, it's no sweat. There's no need to be nervous. I understand it may be difficult for us today to wrap our heads around the idea that there's a world Akivilli didn't venture into. But a journey like this was one only routed into the Express crew back then. After all, the Trailblazer is to explore the universe boundaries.
We should consider Pom Pom's opinion too. They don't know we're considering Amphorius as a destination.
I'll take care of it. That said, Pom Pom usually stays out of the discussion of destinations. The final decision is like still on us to make. In that case, it would be best taking the time to think things over.
Plus, even if we pass Amphorius over, we've still got a fuel problem to solve.
That's what I thought too. Alright then, for now let's let Ms. Black Swan know that we're considering the Eternal Land as a destination. Seeing how this is going to be an unusual adventure, it'd be good if it to take us some time out to make preparations for the journey. Meanwhile, I'll see if I can't find out more about Amphorius from our allies before we depart.
In other words, we won't be leaving Penacony anytime soon.
Or we could also revisit our previous stops to make sure that the astral charts and navigation routes are all functioning fine. I wonder if the hole in the Tychean Stadium has been repaired.
The Express has been on the go almost the whole time since we left the space station. We barely had any time to catch our breath. Let's take this time and opportunity to wrap up our vacation instead. Make the most of us out of this break. At this moment, people still have to expect a vacation to be so fulfilling. They will witness the Grand Zancho War Dance during this moment. And all those who will meet again include not only friends, but also foes. Sorry if I didn't read that fast enough. It's good that Welt and Marsh's voice were still around. Not every character is affected, but some are. I know some voice lines were recorded before the strike. Only one in the swing. It's still ongoing right now, if you're curious. I believe it still is.
Creating chaos is also a means of maintaining social stability, if you ask me.
If you have the time for mindless gossip, you're probably better off spending it on getting actual work done.
They say this is all part of ongoing investigations. But is there even any point to doing this? The threat's long been neutralized. They're just putting on a show. I mean, look at us. This sudden surge in inter-family cooperative efforts. It's nothing but a pretense for those outsiders, isn't it?
Sounds like you've got insider intel. Now I'm curious. Are the stories going around true? Was the furor that broke out a while ago really a result of trouble within the Oak family?
Those are some difficult questions. Didn't I just say that creating chaos is also a means to maintaining social stability? Now, who knows who's been fanning the flames? But there are a dozen rumors going around out there, each one more outlandish than the last.
Oh, I've heard those. Conspiracy theories about how the
Yeah,
IPC
Robin.
orchestrated everything and... what was it again? That the chaos was only quelled because of an accident? Makes no sense. So what's the lowdown?
Well, the truth has probably been long buried under all the hearsay. All I can say for sure is that someone's taken the rap for it.
You mean the former Oak family head?
Bingo. Most of the blame was pinned on him when the Charmony Festival was abruptly cancelled. Since then, not a single soul's seen him. Heck, forget his whereabouts. Nobody even knows if he's still alive. Talk about scary. For all we know, we might have watched something go down in history, like what happened to the Black Plum family back then, without even realizing it.
I've heard another theory about that family head, though. I beg your pardon, sirs. Dreamweavers are carrying out inspections on the routes around here, and all affected facilities have been closed off. Kindly take a detour in the meantime.
What happened? Is this because of the Stellaron?
1 week?
Are we Penaconians never gonna dream in peace again?
There is no cause for alarm, sir. The Stellaron has already been sealed. This is just a routine inspection. A move to heighten security, if you will. Please rest assured that the family will do everything in our power to protect the sweet dreams of every guest.
I see. We'll leave the two of you to your work then.
Oops, Sunday.
Excuse me, sir. Have we met before?
Bro's got the drip over here.
Oh. Do you recall when or where we might have met?
My bad. I must be mistaken. Sorry about that. Sweet dreams to both of you, sirs.
You sure have a knack for for stirring up trouble. Of all the routes available, you had to take the one that Bloodhound's keeping watch over.
We shouldn't run into any problems with you around. Even if they see through the Harmony's power of disguise, there'll be a way for us to escape.
Spare a thought for me, will you? Just being in your company is plenty enough to get me into trouble, Mr. Prime Fugitive of Penacony.
And that is exactly why I need you with me. You're the only one I can rely on in Penacony now.
The only one you can rely on, huh? What about her?
At least, she was spared from the consequences of my actions.
What a shame, huh?
Why do you say that?
Just thought that being mean might be more effective than consoling you. I've seen plenty like you, eager for everyone to take you to task after a setback because that's the only way you'll feel better. As though the more they condemn you, the more likely you can rectify your mistake. That said, if I'd really wanted to hit you where it hurts, I'd use a different approach. Like a show of sympathy, for example.
You're right. I won't deny that.
She should still be in Penacony. Aren't you going to look for her?
That won't be necessary. I'm sure you already know why, considering your vested interest in reading my thoughts. I can't bring myself to see her when I'm a fugitive.
All right, then let's keep going. Helping a fugitive return to their home. So exciting.
Am I supposed to be playing as him? This is POV switch. Oh yeah, what the hell? Alright, that's weird. Give me a sec. See how this goes. Sunday's whole stick is to summon... well, not summon. He's supposed to buff characters that have summons and have them advance forward with that character. Also, there's a ticker here. Fugitive ticker. TikTok snore. That's kind of fitting. Right, he's a fugitive and he just referred to himself as a fugitive. Oh, it's been a while since we had one of these. But sorry, it's been taking me a bit to get back into the routine of recording. I've had the last couple days after like Christmas and everything. And the holidays and whatnot, I've been out of it, so I do apologize if it took me so long to get back into everything. But we're here, we're recording, we're doing the things we need to do. There we go. It had something to do with that mirror. But yeah, we're opening up our first video in 2025, continuing Star Rail. I don't think there's anything else I need to mention. Oh, they were offering us a free 5-star. And I did put some time and effort, or time and thought, I should say, into what I want. I think I'm going to go with Bronya. Even though I don't have another E1 Clara, I still want an E6 Bronya. And yes, I have an E5 Bailu. I'm just going to pick Bronya. Like the one character I still use. Yeah, I've been holding on to that for a couple days now.
The future of Belobog shines bright.
Yeah. I still have to build you with relics and stuff because you need more crit rate. It's a whole thing, but nah. But I'm not focused on that right now. I'm focused on this. Oh, there's another one. On my way to the objective. Moving ticker. I have to play clocky day and night, and I don't have time for myself. I'm so envious of my friends who turned into the Dream Jolt Trooper. At least they can be themselves. Aw, poor guy. Okay. That had to be one of the first few ones you find. And yes, I know I have a lot to do in this game. TikTok Eureka, since work makes me miserable, I'm just gonna quit. TikTok, dear guests, I'm gonna escape to the other dreamscapes and take a break. Bye. Hey, you do you, man. 20 stellar jade for one of those dudes? It's not a lot, but it's feel like a lot after doing one
I see
puzzle.
2 bloodhounds. They appear to be on official business, unlike the pair from earlier. What's happening at Ideen Park?
Hey! Hey! In case you didn't notice, I can't see anything.
My apologies. I forgot that you're not very tall.
Remind me, why do I have to make this trip with you again?
We've been through this. You're the only one I can turn to now. Besides, we once lived a cat and dog existence. Embroiling you in my affairs won't weigh on my conscience.
You certainly don't have much of one if you can bring yourself to say something like that.
Yet you will repay this favor all the same. After all, you're only alive today because of me. You owe me that much.
Holy moly! Can you get any more conceited?
When you were abandoned in the wild and near your end, I showed you a way to survive and helped you escape the jaws of death. When you were at your wit's end and felt lost about your future, I did everything within my power to help you safeguard your position in the family.
Okay, I get it already. You have a way with words, I'll give you that.
He certainly does.
It's one thing to repay a favor, quite another to knowingly put myself in harm's way. I don't understand. Why are you hell-bent on going back to Penacony? Is this an IPC mission? Did they make you a deal? You can have your freedom back, but in return you must turn against all whom you once called family or something like that?
Regrettably, Lady Bonajade didn't drop so much as a hint about it.
Go now. You are free, O Chosen One, who dare to exceed his bounds. Sever your wings, descend to the mortal realm, and walk their lands. See what this world is truly like.
I will not accept your charity.
As I mentioned earlier, it's a trade, and you don't have to give me an answer right now. Rewards are not reaped in a day, and if there's one thing I'm best at, it's waiting. The sweet dream still continues, and the night is still long. You have plenty of time to contemplate your answer.
She only left me with a most intriguing message before setting me free. As for whether I can afford the price of my freedom, I'll only know when I find out what it is.
But nothing good ever comes out of being in the IPC's debt.
I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. For now, there's still some time before that payment is due, so why not exercise the right to freedom that I've just regained?
By walking straight into a trap?
Or by making amends for past deeds. When it's time to go, this will be farewell for good. So, before I leave Penacony, I'd like to take some time to look back on all the events that have taken place.
Can't you just look back on it from a distance?
There's something else I want to do too. The embryo of philosophy may have fallen, but the order in Penacony wasn't built in a day. This sweet dream is likely to still contain residual traces of the Oak family's influence.
Get off your high horse. The other 4 families are more than capable of working things out on their own.
I might have gone astray, but others shouldn't have to clean up after my mistakes.
Then you should also know that the IPC isn't gonna help you a second time. If you fall into the family's hands again, you're done for.
You know how it is. Old habits die hard. The tie should be on the center line. The shirt must not protrude from the vest. Trouser creases should be perfectly straight, and always aligned with the tips of your shoes. We should always ensure that everything is in order before walking out the door. The same applies when bidding my home farewell, too.
But what has Ideen Park got to do with you? Don't tell me that the Founder's one of your disguises.
I'm not that old.
Oh, come on. Take a joke, will ya?
I kind of like his, looking back at that cutscene, I kind of like his newer outfit rather than his older one. And it just looks a lot more cleaner, I guess that's one word I would use. It just looks nicer. I like it.
Sorry, but park facilities are out of order. Refurbishment works are currently underway. Please come back again later.
That sounds familiar.
I'm aware of the situation. You can skip the report.
What? What are you talking about? I mean... Mr. 1 Week.
He's tripping out.
Excuse me, I should have recognized you earlier. I must be more tired than I realized.
I want to know what's going on in there. You'll tell me, won't you?
There's nothing much to say, actually. We bloodhounds are just as baffled as you are. My guess is that it's simply part of the aftermath of the Stellaron incident.
Aftermath?
You are?
Renowned workaholic, Mr. Workday.
Workday?
You don't know him?
Oh, I see. Pardon my ignorance, sir. Coming back to the topic of the park, let's just say that it has been recently observed that certain behaviors are not tolerated around here.
What happens if you violate the prohibitions?
It's baffling, but corrective measures will be taken. It's kind of difficult to explain. Maybe you'd like to see for yourself?
Yeah, that works. Can you keep watch over the entrance? We'll go in and have a look for ourselves.
Please take these notes with you. They may come in handy.
You shouldn't have said that just now. It'll only make us look suspicious.
Said what?
Mr. Workday?
I was just telling the truth. I've always found this name to be more suitable for you. So, why are we here? You managed this park before?
You could say that. I was still a child back then. To become the bronze Melodia of the Oak family, I'd gone under Mr. Gopherwood's tutelage. We were taking a walk in the park like any other day, when he suddenly hit on the idea to have me manage the park. Within the domain he demarcated, my every word would hold the force of law. In hindsight, that was probably the first time that I enforced order.
You rose through the ranks soon after. I take it that you must have done a pretty good job.
Quite the contrary. I made a terrible mess of things. Fortunately, the tourists thought of it as nothing more than a spell of merrymaking.
Was that his way of training you?
Perhaps he was just using an approach with lighter consequences to show me what he'd learned in life. But there is never an ideal paradigm when it comes to rules. If the enforcer is incapable of introspection, then even regulations once laid down with the noblest of intentions will eventually become defiled. This place is no exception. The distorted after echoes of the Order will only add to the chaos.
Let's see what we have on these notes.
Adine Park investigator rules. I'll write down what I've noticed for now. I'll go over things when I meet the others later. No consumption of foods or other than burgers, especially ice cream. Only cast of crew members are allowed to on the stage. Be kind to birds. Do not discard trash in trash cans. Please do not use Soul Glad bottle caps sold by the Dream Troops while experiencing the attractions. Handstand walks around the flower bed are prohibited. Attention conducts that have been mentioned are now necessarily safe. They just have not been yet reviewed.
No
Okay.
consumption of food except
Interesting.
for burgers. What?
Except for just burgers? That is weird. Only burgers, so you can only eat a burger.
handstand walks around flower beds are prohibited. Now let's not worry about how the Bloodhounds figured this one out. Huh. I reckon the worst that can happen for this one is that they'll flip you back on your feet. Say, why don't you test it out this time? I'd love to see you do a handstand.
No, thank you.
Handstand. It's on the flower beds. Where'd everybody go? Are there people here?
No consumption of food other than burgers, especially ice cream. Please tell me you didn't make this rule.
I have nothing against desserts. The only reason I made that rule is so that people can learn to wait in line in an orderly manner for things, instead of shoving and jostling people around.
True.
What happens if I break the rule?
It's as the Bloodhound said. Corrective measures will be enforced.
Huh. Try me.
Wait, don't!
Blink of an eye, the ice cream vanished into the one weak stomach.
Ah. Huh. So, where are those corrective measures?
That's odd.
Didn't I tell ya? The family can take care of the issue without you having to get involved. Next on the list is the stage. Let's go and check it out. Only cast and crew members are allowed on the stage. A surprisingly reasonable rule.
And an easy one to test. Neither of us is part of the cast or a crew member. Let's try it out.
Oh, I see.
Huh?
Oh.
Let's try that again.
Like, jolt us back.
What's going on?
Guide those who have lost their way back onto the right path. Looks like this is an example of the corrective measures that the Bloodhound mentioned. It's exactly what I would have done back then.
You've been iron-fisted since you were little, haven't you? Wait a sec. If this is how violations are corrected, then everything that I ate just now?
I tried to warn you.
Like a chunker chameleon seen on the sidewalk, he vomits silver and rainbows.
How do you feel?
Now, I'm feeling murderous.
In any case, say what you will, but I can't sit by and do nothing. Not when I'm the cause of all this trouble in Ideen Park. There's no need to involve the Dreamweavers. I'll fix these distortions once and for all.
What's the plan?
Nothing complicated. All distortions have their roots. We'll be able to trace them to the source once they manifest. Breaking a few rules will do. We just need to make sure that the corrective measures that will be implemented aren't too much for us to handle. When a distorted after echo manifests to correct us, I'll be able to pinpoint its whereabouts. Then, I'll use the power of tuning to heal the dreamscape.
So, can I take it that rules are meant to be broken now?
Hey. Just like me. Based on the rules, investigate the usual occurrence. Golden capsule
Please do
machine?
not use Soul Glad bottle caps sold by the Dream Jolt troupe while experiencing the attractions? The Dream Jolt troupe, where? Are they hiding or something? Please do not use the Dream Jolt troupe.
Oh, this guy?
Oh, there it is. Found a good hiding spot, didn't ya? Come on, let's buy some bottle caps from it.
Just one moment.
Another places some alfalfa credits in front of the Bubble Hound.
Let me translate that for you. Who are you trying to pay with your spare change?
Let's place even more alfalfa credits.
I'm afraid you're going to have to handle this if it isn't enough.
Handle this? Handle what? Wait, is that really all you've got on you?
May I remind you that I am currently on the run?
Man was locked up for a while.
Luck's on our side. Looks like we scraped together just enough.
I'm glad bottle caps. Now we use that on this.
Give this capsule machine a try and see what happens.
Sure. It's a golden ball.
Nothing's off so far. Maybe we should open the capsule?
Shouldn't have done that. Since warnings are proven futile, punishment now is inevitable. That's scary.
They can't be seriously going that far, right? No. Hey, look out!
Yeah, there's at least a fight. So they didn't change teams for nothing. Yeah, so his whole thing's to buff your characters and bring their summons forward just as he's buffing the character. And since Topaz is the only character I have for summons with Numby, you'll see the full effect of it. You don't have to have a summon for Sunday, but you can.
Heard the call. Trinity is before me.
That crit rate boost though.
This mortal form. Watch over me. Guide you on your path.
Steady.
I should have done that first.
Farewell.
Mountains!
Fiend or devil, I'll crush them all!
Market is unprecise.
Investing in victory means playing the long game! Thank you.
So yeah, dude's kind of like Sparkle with the buffs, focusing on one person. But he's mostly used for people who can summon.
Right on time.
This mortal. Watch over you. Guide you on your path.
You get a little halo too behind the character's head that's buffed. Pretty neat visually.
They have to do that. They could have just recalled the capsule.
Perhaps making the attractions no longer just attractions is another corrective measure?
Aren't the rules being too finicky with words?
We're not breaking enough rules. We should look elsewhere, too.
How about over here? There's a trash can over here. Didn't they say something about trash earlier? I walked past him. My bad. I looked over and did something.
Not discard trash in trash cans. This is absurd. Did you make this rule too?
Children tend to be fascinated by such paradoxes. I was no exception.
Forget it. I don't even know how to joke about this. Well, what do you suggest we throw in?
Anything will do. Well, I mean, they mentioned trash. How about actual trash? How about my trash?
Something's happening.
The golden trash?
What is this? A woodcutter's trash can?
Enough. The location of the distortion is nearby.
Agreement tuning. After echoes of the order, once disordered, can add to the chaos as a tuner. Suddenly can easily discern when the harmony of the dreamscape has been disrupted. Right? Freaky.
Oh, there it is. Huh. It does look somewhat like you.
Time for it to disappear for good. Reveal thyself unto me, as is customary. All creatures endowed with eyes bear souls of equal worth.
Whoa, it worked. The IPC totally should have sent someone to keep an eye on you. Aren't they worried that you might make a comeback in Penacony and grow a new pair of wings?
So long as there remains a need for me to keep a low profile, I'm no threat to them.
That's true. Come to think of it, you had always been in the spotlight, be it as a respected member of the elite or a leader. When was the last time you fell into the mud? All the way back during your childhood days?
Sometime before I turned 6. Like most boys would, I tried to fly with my ear feathers, only to fall into a pit. I almost broke my halo.
That was sarcasm, in case you didn't realize. But whoa, you actually remember something like that?
You never forget times of failure. It's only human nature.
Very true.
You're probably the only one who'd consider something like that a failure.
Being plague and forget guidance. Weirdly nostalgic running around Penacony again after a couple months, yeah. I don't know, it's just something about running around Penacony again, listening to the soundtrack of it.
Time?
Just looking back.
But nothing's there.
That's the whole point of revisiting a place. When I look at everything here, the memories are so fresh, it's as if it all only happened yesterday. When the younger me tasted failure here, I ran myself ragged to fix the mess. I thought myself no longer the same person as before. But it looks like I was just going round in circles. I'm glad for this chance to look back on my past in this way. Come now. We should go. This will be a long farewell.
Are we still tuning? We tuning.
So, where are we heading next?
OT Mall. There are bloodhounds stationed along the way, though. It might be better to take a quieter route.
I don't
Oh,
mean
well.
to meddle, but I'd advise you to stay away from that place.
Did something happen?
There isn't any concrete information yet, but anomalies have been reported around the area. The family is currently investigating. You okay?
I see.
I'm fine. The Stellaron incident may have been quelled, but who is to say that nobody has another agenda? Thanks for the tip, sir. We'll make a detour. May you stay safe, too.
Hold on.
Sweet Dreams are technically safe, but it would be wise to look out for oncoming vehicles.
Thank you.
Whew, that was no ordinary passerby. It's a miracle that he didn't see through your disguise.
The Astral Express should have departed a long time ago. Why is he still in Penacony? We needn't change our plans because of him. But be sure to keep your guard.
We're kind of just hanging out here.
I hope nothing terrible has fallen upon Penacony while I was in captivity the last few days.
Well,
Come now. It's time we set off.
I mean,
Let's not stick too close to each other, just in case. A few feet or so between us will do.
we had Sparkle and the Radiant Felspar almost exploded, but I don't think she was serious. I think that's all that happened, really.
Seems I let my wishful thinking get the best of me. Will you at least give me a chance to explain?
I will, but before I do, put your hands behind your back and answer my question
Oh, shit.
in short sentences.
Short sentences?
I need to make sure your words aren't concealing any dangerous incantations.
I can't believe I've left everyone with such a peculiar impression of me. Please, believe me when I say that I didn't come back here with ill intent. Penacony will never experience the Order again, either.
I'm afraid I won't be taking your words at face value, not after how you wielded the power of harmony. Answer me. What are you doing here?
It looks like there's only one way to gain your trust. Come on out, 1 week. We found ourselves an ally.
So, it was the IPC that freed you.
My sister has likely made an agreement of some sort with them. As for how I'm able to move around freely in Penacony, I have 1 week to thank for that. As you can see, I've only returned to my home to bid it farewell. Would you be kind enough to give me a chance to say goodbye, so that I may leave without regrets?
Agreed. But until you leave Penacony for good, you're to stay by my side.
You have my gratitude.
I left my home in a hurry too. I know how it feels. That said, I can't make this call by myself. My companions need to know about this too.
The Astral Express crew is in Penacony too?
Come with me. We'll go find them. You come along too.
Okay. Boy, this is gonna be a party.
Very awkward one, at best. Well, just comes back on the train. It's like, oh, hey, Wild, how's... Oh. I'm sorry I ran the train. I'm sorry you got hit by the train. That was Pom Pom, not me.
We're here. They should be somewhere nearby.
Mr. Yang, if you don't mind, there's something that puzzles me. Now that the crisis on the planet of festivities has been averted, shouldn't the Astral Express have departed to continue on its trailblazing journey? Why have you and your companions stayed behind in Penacony? Could it be that someone stirred up trouble after I left?
And if that were indeed the case,
I doubt I'm in any position to be proposing ideas, but I'm happy to defer to the Nameless and aid with any plans you may have.
there's no need to worry. All is well in Penacony. Our reason for lingering here is a certain unusual passenger.
A passenger?
The Express has been commissioned to send a passenger back home. We're just resting up in Penacony for a while before we depart.
By passenger, do you mean this lady here?
Hey.
Or these
Oh.
ladies?
Why is there so many?
This... how?
You're finally here, Mr. Yang. We have a huge problem.
Hey, back on the Radiant Felspar.
Isn't it fascinating how variables never fail to find their way into the lives of organic life forms?
Did I expect to see you here in Penacony, Mr. Scrollum? I'd assume the Genius Society wasn't invited to the festivities.
I have no interest in the Harmony's celebration, so it's only natural for me to turn down the invitation. But it looks like my decision also cost me the front row seat to all of your exciting adventures. Conclusion: there is likewise a downside to pursuing reason.
Aren't you playable yet, bro? I'm sure it's all of your genius showed up as a Harmony Festival, things would have been much different.
I hear that the Astral Express has established a collaboration with the Garden of Recollection for your next destination.
They did suggest a destination, but that was all. Did you hear this from Madame Herta? It's a world beyond knowledge of the Nameless, after all. I wrote it to her hoping that all the all-composing iteration could provide us with some information.
Could there be more to it?
Yes, there's something else. Miss Black Swan said Amphorius is a world influenced by 3 paths, and the iteration is one such path.
Logic. The average Pathstrider wouldn't leave any trace behind in the Garden of Recollection's mirror.
You're right. This has been related to the Emanators, or perhaps even the Aeons. That's why I wanted to know if the geniuses had any clues about it.
It's a pity we do not communicate much within the society. Not to mention we've lost most of our members to the Lord of Silence. I have never heard of Amphorius, however.
Madame Herta said the same, but it did pique her interest, and she agreed to do a little digging. My guess is that there's a chance the Garden Recollections behind it. She always had a keen interest in remembrance technology, after all. And also, thanks to her, we got to make Run May's acquaintance a while back. We even went to the Howling Abyss to bring a Leviathan carcass back to their new friends. Speaking of her, there's far too much understanding, but none of us expected to see an old friend at Miss Run May's.
That Foxian girl has indeed been through an unimaginable turn of events. I suppose that's the fate you organic life forms are bound by.
Yeah, a bond that truly runs deep.
So, is it out of goodwill that the Astral Express volunteered to send her back home?
Would the Nameless see a point in keeping work and a favor apart? It's her request that she hopes to make a brief stop somewhere to reframe her mindset before returning to the Zen show, considering her unique position with the Alliance.
Looks like this is one exceptional passenger. Don't you have to accompany her then, Miss Himiko?
My companions are with her. They know Miss Ting-Yun better anyways, plus those youngsters will definitely do a better job than me when it comes to vacations. They're probably having a wonderful time now.
So, is anyone gonna tell me what's going on? March?
Oh, about that. Why don't you ask him instead? He knows how to present things logically.
I guess. I have to break that stereotype you have of me. Apparently there are many Tingies here with us.
You don't have to tell him that. He can see for himself. Forget it. I'll tell you. We walked around with Miss Ting-Yun for a while after separating from the rest. But then we ran into something weird.
Did something happen in the dreamscape?
Actually, it's more like it was someone's fault.
It's funny that the Arumaton is there,
Takeshi filming a Try
showing
Not
that
to
Sunday's
Laugh
disguise is going on
He gave us some of his candy.
in our eyes.
A type of candy that's supposed to make you fall over laughing.
So that sort of try not to laugh challenge.
I didn't really want to do it, but he insisted on us giving it a shot. That's how we got into this problem.
What happened?
You failed the challenge terribly.
Oh, come on, stop interrupting. So, we had some candy, and we're so happy we rolled around on the ground for a bit before standing up. But once we did, we realized Miss Ting-Yoon...
Sounds like a trip.
Miss Ting-Yoon ate the candy too, but she only sneezed nonstop. Achoo! Achoo! Sneeze after sneeze. And before we knew it, she multiplied into several Ting-Yoons right in front of us.
I don't know if my friend Nathan's played this part yet, but I know he's gonna have a field day when he gets here. He really likes Ting-Yoon.
What's your take on this?
The dreamscape is a Memoria world. It is
Yeah, it's cool that his disguise is going off right now.
hypersensitive mind, causing
We're like, who's this?
fragments to dissociate and become entities themselves. There
I
is
like
no
little
cause
touches
for
like that.
concern. We've experienced similar incidents from time to time in the sweet dream.
Mr. Yang? Who's this?
It's okay. You can reveal yourself now.
I was only being careful, or we would have been stopped by the Bloodhounds more than once on our way here. Help me remove my disguise. 1 week.
Hey,
Been a while, everyone.
what's up?
You! What's going on?
Am I still dreaming?
Everyone, stay calm. I'll explain.
By the way, sorry about hitting you with the
I
train.
believe that at this point, Sunday has no reason to be dishonest. But to prevent any unforeseen complications, I'll be accompanying him everywhere he goes until he leaves Penacony. Mr. 1 Week here is an old acquaintance of Sunday's.
Pleased to meet you, fair lady. And you, of course. You're the heavyweight who pummeled this control freak.
He was a worthy opponent.
The surprises just keep pouring in. First there was Miss Acheron, and then Miss Ting-Yoon. Why does it seem like Mr.
Miss
Yang always
Acheron.
comes back with some extraordinary guests?
Let's leave this discussion for later. For now, we should be focusing on returning Miss Ting-Yoon to her normal self.
That's not gonna be easy. You'll see what I mean, Mr. Yang. These Ting-Yoons aren't exactly easy to communicate with.
Why is that? I couldn't even see what she said right there. We're seeing you again.
Miss March.
How's your neck feel? Oh, sorry.
Consider my suggestion?
Your suggestion? Oh, wait. Which Miss Ting-Yoon are you again?
It's me! I'm the one who wants every Ting-Yoon to come together to form the Ting-Yoon Merchant Guild. How often do you get the chance to work with yourself? Just imagine how in sync we'll be with one another. We're bound to thrive and prosper. I know we can't leave the dreamscape to trade with the outside world, so that's where you come in, Miss March 7th. Your wits surpass many others, making you the perfect person to handle liaison negotiations on our behalf.
I guess I can consider it. I hope everything goes smoothly for your guild. There. Now do you see what I mean, Mr. Yang?
There does appear to be an element of her talking to herself.
Clone copies of myself too.
Forget about it. How are you gonna clone your bat?
Mr. Yang mentioned the Express's next voyage is to send a passenger back home. Could this lady be from the Xianzhou Alliance?
Yes, more specifically, the Xianzhou Luofu.
The Luofu? Didn't the Antimatter Legion launch an ambush on the Luofu some time ago? Was she one of the few survivors?
Quite the contrary. She might have been the person closest to the Eye of the Storm.
Looks like there's a lot more to this story.
Story for another time. As
It's a
host of the
lot.
Dreamscape, do you have any suggestions for fixing this problem?
I don't have much to go on now. Perhaps we should talk to the other Miss Tingyuns here.
So basically, there's this big Antimatter Legion lady who took her body and just snapped her neck.
That sounds nice. People never forget a personally prepared home.
She seems familiar though. They did change her old voice lines in battle. I think in the regular in this Tingyun model.
But then again, gifts should be lasting. What about a delightful new bouquet of flowers on the table each day? Wouldn't they do a better job at brightening up someone's day? That sounds like a good idea. If we really want to
You have
do this
different
right,
names,
it's the
Foodie
thought
Tingyun.
behind the gift that truly matters. The more thought goes into the gift, the better the recipient feels it. She makes a valid point too.
Upper tongue Tingyun.
You sure have a way of not offending anyone.
These three Tingyuns don't look like they'll be reaching a conclusion anytime soon. We won't be able to get a word in.
A lot of foxy ladies in here.
So, what do you think, Sonny?
Let's try a different name, my dear friend.
Sunny.
Oh, don't we sound chummier that way? I took a leaf out of this Foxian girl's book.
The problem with Miss Tingyun is just as I suspected before. That prank shattered her into notes that are each a part of her. In other words, it means the Tingyuns we see here are all different aspects of her psyche.
Okay. You just made it sound a whole lot more complicated.
At any rate, this is a known occurrence across the dreamscape. Tuning could be the way to fix it. The only problem is that these Miss Tingyuns are too caught up in their own world. Is there one we can properly speak with?
One that we can speak with? Oh, I think there is one. But it may take me a while to identify her.
What was that one? Visionary Tingyun? At least you don't have a name. Virgin Guild representative can find upon returning to the loft. And chow. Okay. This is weird though. Look at all these foxy ladies. Do you have names? No. They really make this stall? Still don't understand. I don't know what she said earlier. Money grubbing Tingyun. She's completely oblivious to everything else. She just stands there continuing to operate the cash spewing, occasionally letting out an excited laugh.
Why do I feel like it's not gonna be a wise move to interrupt her?
Yeah, just leave her be. Find Ting that is easy to communicate with. Invisible fan wielding Tingyun. You really realize what that one here.
Huh? Ugh, yikes. She's scary. No, I won't be able to talk to her.
Kid eating you?
Huh? You can't fly? Why? I can. I can fly. A long, long time ago, a big girl flew with me really high into the sky. I'll take you next time. Pinky promise. Should we get someone to watch over her?
Nah, I think she's perfectly fine on her own. The childlike innocence that adults have is a lot more resilient than you can imagine.
Even if that's true, it doesn't apply to her.
Oh, I can't break this. It won't lock on. I was gonna see if that was gonna upset her. And there's nothing here. Alright, find one that's easy to talk to.
Oh, were you all looking for me?
Hello? Yeah, actually.
Oh, were you all looking for me? Found her! If I remember correctly, this Miss Ting-Yun's trait is... it's nothing special, really.
There she is.
She ought to meet your one we can properly speak with requirement, right?
Worth a try. My lady, if I may, I wish to perform a tuning on you.
Before you start, you should know that we're keeping our eyes on you. If you even think about taking Miss Ting-Yun hostage...
No, there are 4 pairs of eyes between the 3 of us. Brace yourself for gravitational disintegration. Remember, they're the most formidable people on all Penacony. That first line is from Welt.
It is not my intention to provoke you. Perhaps as assurance.
I think he said it to
I have my
Acheron.
friend here perform the task in my stead. One week has a higher mastery of the harmony than I do.
That is true.
If you still have concerns, you are also free to restrain me while he performs the tuning.
There's no need for that. You're acting so... sincere. I'm actually surprised.
Are you all right with this, Miss Ting-Yun?
I go as the wind blows.
Somewhat normal Ting-Yun.
For me.
Then kindly forgive our intrusion. Please do your best, 1 week.
Do your thing.
What the... Did any of you hear a voice just now?
A voice?
Never mind.
Look! It's working!
Never did I expect that every encounter with you would always be in moments of distress. Did I conduct myself improperly?
Miss Ting-Yun! You're finally back! You may be small, but you're pretty amazing.
Wow, March.
Huh? What's wrong?
It's nothing. Just a trivial matter.
What do you sense?
Pretty surreal, honestly.
I should have let you handle it yourself. This girl is not as ordinary as she appears. I nearly died. Just now.
You me okay? Darkness descends before the eyes, reminiscence of chaos before the birth of the universe.
Don't be afraid.
I couldn't read that fast.
What is this place?
No matter what you see, you only need to remember one thing. You're not alone.
Who are you? And who am I?
Your nails are painted.
Is that where I came from? And where does this path lead?
Gotta get the run, May. Please don't call her big sister. Oh, it did it again. Okay, well, actually, she's gonna work good on this team.
Don't
I guess
worry, Miss Ronmei. I am recovering well.
I guess they made it so that they don't auto-select the character story, or they don't lock you to it, I guess. But I didn't mind it, honestly. Yeah. Like the golden tattoo. If that is a tattoo. I like her model.
That looks so familiar. Does she want to lead me somewhere?
This doesn't get us killed. Let's go on, there's no time to waste.
The life support pod is ready. There were only minor issues.
That's great. Otherwise, that person from the Xianzhou might not be able to hold on much longer.
You're still trying. There's no precedent for saving someone who was destroyed by a Lord Ravager. Will it even work?
I'm not a genius, so I don't understand the logic behind it. But if she says it's possible, then it must be.
Excuse me. Could you tell me where I am? Can they not hear me?
It's a memory.
This girl is...
Observation log day 6. Well, extremely rare, the observant subject has started providing short answers in some simple questions, even though her cognition is still a chaotic state. For what has been observed so far, she is not incompatible at composing long and complex sentences. However, an unbearable intense pain would immediately attack her with high frequency, enough to interrupt her thoughts or even render her temporarily unconscious. The relevant information should not be delivered to Madame Runmei for her to decide whether the observant subject's sense should be temporarily numbed before conducting a questioning. Correction: we have temporarily blocked the subject's various senses and are trying as much as we can to alleviate their pain. No further questioning was to be made until the body's repair has made some progress. Until then, this is a record of the question that its observed subject has already answered. What is your name? The subject replied within 3 seconds. Tingyun. What did you encounter? The observant subject spent a substantial period of time in rumination before suffering the intense pain of losing their consciousness. After being questioned a 4th time, it could be confirmed that the observation subject knows about the related details, but struggles to facilitate the acknowledged during the time period of her coherence. I know I butcher that word.
Tingyun.
I've never heard that word.
What a familiar name. Do I know her?
It's you.
Question it. Keep moving forward.
We have a lot of questions, though.
It's you again.
These are wounds left by the destruction. They have taken root within your body and cannot be removed.
The destruction? I don't understand.
Please, who are you? And why won't you show yourself?
I can't go to you. All I can do is wait for you to finish walking this path.
You want me to go through here? Do I have to fight it?
There's no need for that. It's too dangerous, and you can't do it anyway. Don't fight it. Embrace it. Try to coexist with it. Think of it as feeling your own scars.
My scars?
Wait!
Seems like we're fighting.
Is this called coexisting?
Don't worry. As I said before, you're not alone.
Her whole thing is weakness break. We also get blessing.
Good fortunes.
Oxy impaired that buff you.
Dreams do come true.
May the Faust and yeah.
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
We got our own special bar of weakness break.
Let's seize this fine moment. Dream vanished.
Also having burst at our base attack.
Some value.
Be of your body and mind. The truth, everything in this world is bleeding.
The mood is set. Let the show begin!
How can it be? Why are there still so many of them? The ones from before weren't defeated either.
As I said before, you can't defeat them. No one can. You can fall into the darkness and die alongside these scars of the destruction. Or bring them with you when you return to the world here. These are your two choices.
Return to the world? What are you saying? Oh. No wonder those two ignored me. Am I just a wandering spirit now?
Close, but not quite.
So, I'm trapped between life and death? Existing in a limbo?
You can think of it that way.
Based on what you said, even if I should wake up, these wounds that caused my death will remain on my body and never heal? I don't understand. You appear to be trying to save me, Benefactor. But why are you telling me all this?
It's a habit of mine. I believe everyone should have the right to choose whether they wish to return to this world or not.
Be that as it may, I don't remember anything. There's nothing to help me make a choice.
That doesn't matter. I believe the desire to live was born from nothing to begin with. You may also prove yourself to be the exception. I would also be pleased with that result.
How troublesome. But I suppose that's part of living.
Survival or destruction is no longer a choice for you. They both now grow along the same path. And only by walking this path will you break through the darkness and arrive at my side. Feeling more awake? Congratulations. You attained your very first victory in this tug of war. It's a good start.
This is...
Let me explain. You were attacked by a Lord Ravager. By all rights, you should not have survived. But someone didn't agree with that assessment, and it just so happens I was able to fulfill his request.
What about the other merchants?
I don't know.
Why me?
Because you were the most unfortunate. You fell into the hands of that Lord Ravager, who destroyed your body and spirit. Yet, you were also the most fortunate. Her desire to claim everything about you for herself meant she needed time, so you were spared instant annihilation. There is only a fine line between resurrection and escaping death. Yet, they couldn't be more different. If you had truly died, I would have been powerless to do anything for you.
My body feels strange.
I'm sorry. I can't let you regain your ability to feel just yet. You'd be in excruciating pain. Your body was contaminated by the destruction and suffered severe damage. As I said before, these wounds will stay with you for the rest of your life. To prevent its resurgence, I made some minor modifications to your body. Or more specifically, your tail. You'll have to learn to adapt to it. Unfortunately, the inescapable price of survival is often more adversity.
Regardless, I'm grateful to you for saving my life.
There's no need for that. This was merely a transaction. With this, the debt between the traveling merchant and me is clear.
Who?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, really.
You should sleep for a little longer.
Who?
By the time you wake up, you won't remember any of these details. I'll arrange for someone to send you home. Which reminds me, you seem to have some dependable friends with close ties to you. You should go with them. It can only help with your recovery to hear more about your past.
It's pretty crazy, though. As events revealed, any recede in darkness one. One May brought her back.
Are you all right?
Did I pass out?
Only for a little while.
Tuning rebounded and affected 1 week instead. This is no ordinary woman.
I suppose there's no point in hiding it from you anymore. Miss Tingyun is originally from the Xianzhou. She had an unfortunate encounter with a Lord Ravager who robbed her of her identity and left her on the verge of death. While she miraculously escaped with her life, her body suffered terrible injuries beyond all power to heal.
But something happened to change that outcome?
Yes, a genius got involved. She's very accomplished in the field of life sciences and managed to grant Miss Tingyun a shot at survival. After that, she asked the Express to escort Miss Tingyun back home. We made a stop at Penacony along the way, partly to allow her some time to convalesce.
You see now.
I'm so sorry. I thought no one would be affected if I hid inside a dream. I didn't expect so many mishaps to happen.
That's all right. So long as nobody was hurt. Can I get something to drink? I feel like I've been asleep for 10 years.
That's fine. We should find another place to talk anyway.
Dude said he almost died earlier too.
Commotion earlier.
Damn. Shortly after.
So glad again. I'm a local, you know.
Better than nothing.
To make do.
In any case, I must thank the both of you for your assistance.
It was nothing. Now that the matter with Miss Tingyun is resolved, are we meeting your other two companions next?
There's no need for that. Mr. 1 Week is in poor condition, so let's wrap up your farewells first. I'll leave Miss Tingyun in your hands.
Sure, we'll escort the Foxine around.
But, Mr. Yang, the messenger from the Xianzhou is almost here. You're not coming with us?
I trust that you can handle it. Besides, Himiko will be there. She'll be able to handle any decisions should you run into any difficulties.
Okay.
At least let Tingyun have some fun in Penacony. Alright, but that's actually going to be it where I end this here. Anything you guys have to say?
Planning to go next?
Could you give me some time to think about it?
See, running out of time. So, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know I'm getting back into uploading. It's taking some time, but I am getting back into it. Get these achievements. But everything will be back on track. I'm going to go back to uploading at 10 o'clock at night, as usual. 10, 11, 12, around those times. I'll be uploading for a couple days now. I'm going to catch up back up with the story, and I'm going to do as much as I can in this game as much as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like, all my social links down in the description, as well as my friends' social links if you wish to check them out. One of my artists got back into live streaming recently, too. She came back from her Christmas vacation and everything. But yeah, Happy New Year's. Hope you're all having a wonderful New Year and all that stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing what this year will have for us as we get back into Star Rail. So I'll see you guys next time. See ya.